Hi, this is Rahul Kapoor and welcome back. Time for yet another inspiring story, and this time around it's about a person who has never learned to give anything to anyone at all. And interestingly, the beggar community in that area have labeled this guy as the stingiest person ever, and they just don't even approach him. Until one day, another beggar from another area happens to come here, and he hears about this story and he says, "Why don't I try to transform him?" The others warn him, saying that you're going to be wasting your time, but him being a wise man wants to give his best shot. He walks up to his store and says, "Sir, would you please give me 10 rupees? This guy gets annoyed with him and says, "Get out of this place and don't you show me your face again, ever." The next day he walks in and he says, "Sir, would you please give me 5 rupees? He says, "I told you not to come over here, don't you understand? Get out of the place." The third day he walks in and says, "Sir, would you please give me 1 rupee? And the guy says, "Don't you understand? If you come back over here, I'm going to hand you over to the police." The guy goes away and all the beggars meet this wise man and say, "Hey, listen, we told you nothing will ever happen with this guy. He will never change." So on the 4th day, he walks up to him and he says, "Sir, I see some dust in the corner of your shop. Would you please give me that dust?" This guy is absolutely confused. He's like, "What, do you want the dust?" He says, "All right, here we go." He picks up the dust and hands it over to him and says, "Now take this and go away from here." Now when he takes this dust and goes to the rest of the members of the beggar community, they all laugh at him and says, like, "Wow, after 4 days of effort, this is what you could bring for us?" He says, "No, you need to understand the psychology. This man has never given anything to anyone ever. Today he's learned to give dust. Tomorrow he'll also learn to give money." Isn't that an amazing story? And I think the story is not just nice to hear, but it also has some amazing hope, especially while we are dealing with difficult people and we have no choice but to live with them. Sometimes our colleagues, sometimes our loved ones at homes, people who have a very difficult attitude, a very tight personality, and then we struggle, they are in the misery, we also experience the same pain while we live with them. A lot of us tend to give up on them, or we get into a status quo and say, let things be the way they are. But today I want to tell you that if these people exist in our lives, it's just not worth for us to give up on them, but to keep trying in different ways with different approaches, filled with kindness and love and compassion for them, forgiveness as well. And you'll notice that someday they will change. And when they change, that will be the start point of another brilliant relationship that you can experience with them. And don't forget, when you contribute towards that change, you're also helping that person to live and experience a beautiful life. On that note, I will leave you with a message that don't give up on difficult people. Try and become more persistent in your approaches, become more creative, and ensure that you do all of this with love, compassion, and forgiveness, and see the wonders that you can create in building great relationships. This is Rahul Kapoor. You take care of yourselves.